Come June 21, it will be decision day for the people of Ekiti. 18 candidates are gunning for one seat.
I am the next governor of Ekiti.
But the people will have the final say.
I know that tolerance has a very big place.
Join extensive coverage of the election and get up to the many details as development unfolds.
I'm the voice of the Ekiti people.
With expert analysis from the best political team on television.
And that's honesty of ADEYEMI. Without
Join us all day June 21 to find out who emerges the next governor of Ekiti State.
We have agreed to move this state forward.
Keep a date with us on Court TV News. You can also watch us live on our website on www.courttvnews.com, a 24-hour news station.
Yes, welcome again to Core Digest. Today we're discussing Adamawa politics. Who wants Murtala Nyako out? Our guest has enumerated why Murtala Nyako's got so much and courted too many enemies, so to speak, and the big wigs within the states and the political outlay. What's to expect? Who really wants this man out? Is it just what he wants? Or what the assembly is cooking up to make sure that even now they still want him blackmailed? Our guest remains ADEYEMI AROMOLARAN, lecturer and chairman of the ASUP in Yaba Tech. Once again, we welcome you.
Thank you.
The APC Governors Forum chairman said that the international community would not see us in good light, even in the middle of fighting insurgency. What we're talking about is impeaching a state governor. How relevant do you think that is?
Yeah, that is a personal opinion which we can just qualify as a selfish analysis, selfish position of APC. It does not imply that in the event of the ongoing insurgencies that we should not put things right. If needs be, if there should be impeachment, let there be. Just like I've said, in every senses of consideration, Nyako deserves to be impeached, just for the mere fact that he dumped a party that put him into the office.
But a legal practitioner will tell you that he has the legal rights to do that.
He has the legal right. We are talking of, look, we are not talking of legitimacy or legality of the action. We are saying from moral perspective. Moral perspective, I put you in a place you are not doing my bits again, then leave the place because it is meant for me. He was not voted for as an individual. He was voted for being a card-carrying member of PDP. So if the PDP now decided that you have dumped us, you are no more relevant to us. Yes, as much as you have your legal right to cross to any party, we have our own legal right to say we don't want you again. And the process is there in the Constitution, impeaching. Even if there are no other allegations, just for the mere facts that he is no more our party member, is no more our spokesman, is no more our party representative. We don't want him.
Yeah, you did mention at least 4 key players in Adamawa State who the governor had not been in good terms with. But again, you find that the party machinery don't seem to agree with him. Majority of the people, as we see in other states, like River State, for instance, which is supposedly another state allegedly planning to impeach its governor, Rotimi Amechi. Rotimi Amechi had his party machinery with him when the cross-carpeting took place. And the case of Murtala Nyako, as it were, I mean, going alone, would the APC as a party even be able to soften this issue if they try to help him out of some sort? Can they afford to peddle the matter? Because one of the key players
there is this common say: heaven help those who help themselves. Those who have, you must help yourself first before heaven comes down to help you. Any governor must be able to help himself before the party machinery at other levels can come into his rescue. The case of Amici is there. Amici has gone a long way to help himself. Ordinary man that is not in APC, that does not belong to any party, has his admiration for the political skills and dexterity Amici displays. Despite the massive mobilization of PDP against him in the state, Nyako is not able to show it. Whatever is it, Nigeria's situation defiles theoretical applications in the present times. You cannot say this is the theory. Nigeria's situation is a practical lesson every day. It's not this is how it should be any longer. What comes out of it is Nigeria's situation. He may survive the impeachment because we are a difficult people in the world today.
Let's look at the integrity of leadership in all of this.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what defines us.
You made mention earlier of Nyako deserving to be impeached, but I want us to turn our attention to members of the House. You talked about the allegation that they have been bribed, compromised, so to speak. We had similar story also in Edo State. What do you think all of this portend for electorate in 2015, not only to major on the major presidency and governorship, but to also consider the integrity of people who will be voted to the Houses of Assembly?
I was coming to that. You see, the party today, they must watch out for a number of factors, attributes in their candidates. The political dexterity goes a long way, number one. Integrity of the personality goes a long way, but your integrity as an individual cannot amount to anything when the entire system is corrupt. And that is why today in Nigeria, I don't trust you, you don't trust me. We don't have the trust. Trust has taken a flight out of Nigeria. We don't trust our leaders. So, but let us have good experience, person in position. The problem of Adamawa, with Nyako struggling to survive, with a dim hope of assurance, survivor from us, the onlooker, is just because the man lacks the experience to manage political institution. His background has been in the military that operates on autocracy. Are you getting it? Let the party henceforth, don't just pick an individual. Can this one sustain the structure we have on ground?
Just a minute, let's take this comment.
This is from Farouk Rilwan in Adamawa. As long as the impeachment is done constitutionally, we must welcome it. I will not support the idea that the legislators were bribed to impeach Nyako. He knows this is coming a long time ago. The only other option for Nyako is to prepare for another campaign and run for governor again. If Fayose can do it, I believe Nyako should be able to do so too. After all, he didn't complete his term in office.
What a comparison, Farouk. But would you say it's a done deal for Nyako in Adamawa?
I disagree with that. This is Nigeria. Anything can happen within the next few hours because we are running a corrupt system.
It's not that we don't know that, yes, the system has this anomaly, as it were. But to say that because the system portends itself to be corrupt, we accept it, everybody says it, does it mean nothing good comes out of it? These are allegations of impropriety, 26 of which were substantiated on the floor of the assembly. True or false, the rule of law, this is a legislative arm of government who oversees the executive. And these 26 allegations were once pending, now it was brought to fore. Why should we say he survives it?
You see, what happened is this. If we want to be sincere, just like the gentleman who made his contribution, I said, constitutionally, the mere fact that Nyako dumped his party, he can be impeached. But let everything be done in line with the constitutional provision. Now, if the legislative wants to impeach the governor, and there is now an allegation of financial inducement against them, then they have to shelve that process of impeachment, set up a committee to investigate that allegation first. Otherwise, their activities and effort at the end of the day will amount to jamboree. We will now heighten the level of distrust in the democratic institutions. So in the real sense, they have alleged them of having received 250 million bribes, 10 million each. Some people rejected. Let them set up a panel to investigate them too. First, before to see if they truly qualify to impeach the governor.
Well, if we take this back to, okay, we have a comment from Michael Onwafo, and Michael is sending us this from Lagos. The fact of the matter is that, like all Nigerian politicians, the Adamawa state legislators will always swing towards whosoever pays highest, PDP or APC. Does not matter to them. Now, if we go by what Michael is saying, obviously PDP would have more money than APC. But
no, you'll be wrong. You'll be wrong. PDP has 36 plus 1. 36 states plus 1 to feed. APC will just concentrate on that.
Oh, you mean if it's a money battle, APC has an upper hand?
Yes, my dear brother. They just want to focus on this
at a time. Without the federal might behind the PDP.
At a time, they have to focus on one at a time. But the federal will have to focus on so many.
Let's take this back to the big players. I mean, you read it on the papers, and of course the nation is saying that airspace blocked and beat to serve notice. When you look at all the drama that surround the serving of the impeachment notice, it boils down to the fact that Mr. President is involved, or perhaps the presidency, as being alleged, is involved in all of this.
That is an insinuation.
Exactly. But then let's look beyond this and talk about the security challenge in northeastern Nigeria. One would ask that which one is more important at this very sensitive time? Talking about impeachment of a governor who has the populace behind him, some would say, how daisy is this at this very sensitive time?
Oh my dear brother, let us get we are getting things wrong in Nigeria. For the fact that we are looking for Chibok girls because we are in a state of persistent security does not imply that other activities are not important. They are as much as important. What is the population of the residents of Adamawa? What is the number of the kidnapped girls, women, kidnapped men that we are looking for? Will you now leave this larger population to die of bad governance? No. What I'm saying is everyone is important. Don't get me wrong, I'm not in support of the impeachment. I'm just an onlooker. And what I believe is show me that you have the experience, you have the dexterity that is required to manage a political office. Nyako has disappointed many of us.
No, my question, I'm not sure you're getting it right. Is this the right time to talk about
I said it is important. Every matter activity is important at every moment. We must continue to live.
Considering the sensitivity of the security
Every
situation.
other activity is as important. Will you close down the stock market because they are kidnapping in the north? If the DG of the stock market is not doing well, will you close down? And will you overlook it and say, oh, sorry, there's an insurgency in the north? If the governor of one of the insurgent states is packing the money into the aircraft, will you say, leave it, I'm fighting insurgents? You have to take a look into that. Every activity is important. We are getting it wrong in Nigeria by saying, oh, this is not important for this moment. It is important. The international community will tell you the September 11 bombing did not stop activities in the United States. For the few months, for the year to end then, they phased all other activities. So we need all other activities must keep going. So it is left for the governor and his party to see how they can rescue their man. If he has worked so much for the party that the party felt they cannot afford to lose him, they will bail him out.
Well, we know that party strongholds it's important to every political office.
Yes.
And the Adamawa governor, I did say again, with no equivocation, as it were, that here was a man coming into the opposition party virtually without a party stronghold, without people behind him, no party machinery coming with him into the place. So he is virtually a loner. You're coming into a party with one of supposedly distractors who is a bigger player in the opposition party. For instance, we're talking about former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who has not had a good relationship with, I almost said General Muritala Nyako. These are the situations we're looking at. How would a survival impact? But before we go on that, if he is to survive this impeachment with such big wigs and all of those whom he never agreed with and coming into this party, how can his survival, even at this time, be played down?
Okay, you see, let us understand one thing, the kind of politics they're playing in Adamawa. Every individual I earlier mentioned, they are on their own. The only thing they have in common now is they have a common enemy. So it has amounted to the issue of the daily say of my enemy's enemy is my friend. Buba Mara is not a friend to Bamanga Tuko. But Bamanga Tuko's enemy, Buba Mara has discovered that, oh, my enemy's enemy to Bamanga Tuko is Nyako. Yes. Enemy to Mora is Nyako. So my enemy's enemy is my enemy. Let us fight from that angle. So not that they join forces together. Each of them is an individual in that state. They are on their own. They see themselves as individual lord. They don't have a common law in their political outplay in that state.
Just a minute. Let's find what comments are coming in here. This is from GB Cho Meadows. Meadows from Kogi. Akpabio gave himself and his family 100 million naira as health insurance, and I'm not sure any hospital in Akwa Ibom can boast of such good health services. Jonah Jang was accused of keeping the state worker's salary in his son's account, and he has not been impeached. Why is it that it's all the apostates that
APC states?
Oh, it's all the APC states that crises are being thrown up. You need to ask questions. And, you know, just as if he was reading my mind, how do we move beyond political division, political instability? Many have questioned the ideology behind the political parties, and I believe that that motivated the call for independence candidature in our electoral reforms in Nigeria. If you consider the Ekiti state election, at a time Fayose left PDP, obviously worked with the opposition party. Today, he's back. People in Nigeria change political parties.
But he was rejected by the APC and the ACN. They rejected him.
Today, people change political parties like they change in clothes. How do we get quality leadership through this political division in Nigeria?
You see, that's what I said earlier. You cannot be, it is a sin for you to be an angel in Nigeria today.
It's a sin.
Yeah. We know what plays out. Somebody just said it. Oh, yeah, I mean the Jang in Plateau State kept the state's money in his son's account. Nothing happens because he's a good boy to the central power. Now, Nyako is being verified on issues of 2011, 2012, 2013. By the time Jang will fall out of favor, he will be visited. That is how they operate in Nigeria. And you see, one of the symbols of this present administration at the national level is not checking corruption. The case of Adamawa, nobody is applauding it for checking corruption. We know it is political game plan. So we should not just be saying because, oh, why is it only in APC states? That is why let us look at it from the angle of the politics they're playing. That's why I'm saying ordinarily left to me, the House of Assembly there should just say, oh, you are no more in our party. Giving us the flimsy excuses that the emolument of the workers for 2014 May, the salary for this 2013, 2011, he deducted this, blah, blah. Those ones were just excuses.
Oh, you agree it's a major clampdown on the opposition?
Oh, sure. We know it is expected. Even APC will do same in his own control states. Are you getting in his own control state? They will do same. But what I'm saying is the person in question, what has he been able to do to weather through this storm? It shows that APC, in the choice of their candidates for their various states, they should invest in somebody that has wits. The way they rejected Fayose when he was trying to come into ACA, the ordinary Nyako should have been rejected for not having the clout, not having the political dexterity. They should have seen it.
No, obviously, APC isn't quite different from, you saw what happened with Shegoni going back to APC, and it seems to be a general phenomenon across the parties in Nigeria.
Let me hold you there one moment, sir. We'll take this message from our Facebook. This is from Bumi Famuide in Ilorin. Nyako's letter has no part to play in this saga. The president has forgiven and forgotten all about it. It was mentioned at the security meeting in Abuja the other day. Long before this time, Nyako's roof had been on fire because his legislators have a lot of issues with him. The northern elders mediated, and this is the outcome. Nigeria should learn to separate issues. Nyako must not now survive by his wits or become an ex-governor.
Nyako must now survive by his wits.
Must now survive by its wits.
Or become an
ex-governor. What do you say to that comment?
And that is that personal opinion.
Indeed, indeed.
We know Nigeria, just like I said, I will not subscribe that, oh, it is a foregone issue. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Even in the light of all that is...
Yes, somebody rightly said it. Oh, those who want to impeach, they have collected money. If he goes with a higher
That
price,
is an allegation, just like the other allegation of impeachment.
And that's what I'm saying, because all we know, the allegation of impeachment resulted in the serving of the governor notice.
Yes.
Now there are allegations that, look, you people have collected money. The allegation appears to have a bit of substance in the sense that says some rejected it. So it implies we have those who can actually come out to say they give us some money. And some accepted the money and said they were shortchanged. That instead of 10 million, they were given 8 million. So there are people that could substantiate it, but when it gets to that. So, but we believe, one thing is so sure, for sure, that if Nyako decides to double the amount they said that was released, he will get out of it.
Let's look at the proposition at the ongoing national confab. There are people of the opinion that immunity clause should be removed from incumbents in Nigeria. Look at how the House of Assembly is being used to remove executives with the third provision of the Constitution. Add the removal of immunity clause to it. Do you think we're going to have a successful execution of governance in Nigeria?
You see, we are not yet mature for that as a people. In fact, if we have such agreed to, I mean, we may not have full attention. Our governors, the president may not be able to concentrate any longer.
Because of the Nigerian structure?
Yeah, exactly. Because of our attitude, not the structure. Because of the Nigerian attitude, the attitude of our political players. We may not get out of this crisis. We know that. All they will just want is, look, this man must not succeed. If I can't have that seat, things must not get gone well. When it was not the turn of the South, that the North was there were bombing explosions in the South. Now the power shifts base back to the South, bombings in the North. So it is our characteristics, nature, to make sure that if I can't have it, it must not get well.
Carol Wikola has a message for us from Lekki. Oyanko and every other Nigerian politician are not entirely at fault. Every process goes through a period of evolution. Nigeria's democracy will not be perfect in a day. The evolution from a military dictatorship to a civil dictatorship and then to self-determined democracy will take some time. Let us pray that the country would not have been cut to pieces by the time this process is complete.
When do we expect this process to be complete?
You see, we should get in straight. The process of maladministration and corruption is not political. It is a social. They are social nemesis. They are social crisis. So we should not look at them just from the angle of political activities. If we get them right, from our social relationship, then when we go into other facets of the activities, human activities, there wouldn't be much problem. So don't let us see it as just a crisis, maladies in the political arena. In our place of work, what is our attitude towards maladministration and corruption? In the church, in governance, and every other area in administration. So it's a social crisis that we needed to address, and it's just because we don't have the laws that checks them. If the laws are there, if there is no law, there are no laws put in place, let us continue like this into the 100 years. It will still be.
But there are laws. The Constitution, no matter how much you look at it, people say, well, this is not our made Constitution. It is an evolution of a decree of the military. But it is workable. These laws are there. It's just that the actors who are supposed to carry out these laws are those whom you refer to as the mediocres who did not carry out what the law speculates. But the laws are there. Should we say with this
I would
countenance?
disagree with you that the laws are there.
The laws are
no,
there.
No. The laws may not be there. Because you see, it's law, Nigerian law is an issue our professionals in the law are fighting on every day. And it tells us our law are not explicit. They are not strict. They are easily manipulated. There are clauses that helps the perpetrator of some of these crimes.
Some shrouded in ambiguity.
Exactly. Perpetrators of these malpractices hides under a situation where ICPC boss said, look, corruption
is not
stealing
is not corruption.
He said, then what is he sitting there doing? And the president that appointed him, he only laughed and turned his head elsewhere.
Now, some are of the opinion that Nigeria is gradually moving towards a two-party system. Do you think that we'll be able to manage this kind of opposition whereby the House of Assembly will be divided along two parties, chairman in a particular, chairman of local government in the state will be divided along certain parties? Do you think we'll be able to manage this political division over the years?
Before you go on, sir, let's quickly, there's our Facebook comment. From Showolu Olumide in Ibadan. Jonathan has more than enough in his place than to investigate violence and castigate
violence.
Than to instigate violence and castigating Nyako in Adamawa. If he wanted to remove him, he would have done so with a state of emergency as the perfect excuse. Nyako has to answer to the people of Adamawa. They elected him and he is their governor. If he has been found wanting in his disputes, in these duties, let him be impeached. Please, don't blame Jonathan for this. Let us be rational, thinking Nigerians. Thank you.
Now, we're talking about if Nigeria, democracy as it is, can survive that party system.
I think the two-party system will go a long way to help us. It will minimize crisis. Are you getting it? We have attempted it, and we saw that we were able to manage the crisis in Nigeria. So if we have two-party system, I think it will all go well.
Well, so are we looking forward to more governors being impeached at a time where the members of the House of Assembly will be divided across political lines?
Then the impeachment will now become a very competitive and serious business.
And make executives put them on their toes.
Exactly. So I think I will subscribe to a two-party system, states.
What about abusing, the possibility of abusing it?
No, you see the abuse, if you have in place the necessary machinery, like the rule of law, if we have a committed government that comes to support rule of law, definitely we'll be able to check the excesses and misconducts. But in a situation where there is no rule of law, then everybody can do what he or she likes.
We have Taiwo Olaoye from Ile-Ife. Are we saying the National Assembly must always be bribed in order to do the needful? Unlike the case of Ladoja and the aborted attempt at the River State, if 19 out of 25 legislators decide you are unfit to govern, so be it. This rift has been going on for a while, and it means every mediation and negotiation attempt has come to naught. That said, 70% of Nigerian governors deserves to be impeached, so this is a good thing. Would you agree with Taiwo?
You see, being a statistician, I'm very reluctant to subscribe to somebody who gives me analysis on percentage basis. A lot of our governors are not doing fine. A number of them are not doing fine, but we have not really conducted a survey to actually say how many of them or what percentage are not doing fine. And we know that the problem we have is we don't have good governance, and particularly that the kind of government at the top that's supposed to oversee the ones at the base is not committed to checking corruptions and maladministrations. All we are playing in Nigeria is party politics.
But
we are not
would you
ethical.
agree that the office of a governor in Nigeria is too powerful, and that gives them the leverage to misbehave, as some would say?
You see, every offices, political offices in Nigeria is not checked constitutionally. Even the local government office is so powerful. And then again, because of the spate of a level of corruption, everybody is looking up to the master. What do I get as a special bonus? So that I will speak, I will keep quiet. That is what is actually affecting us. The rules are there to go about. If we are orderly, if we are sincere, if we are not asking for inducement before we can say the right thing and the right words at the right time.
There's another from our Facebook page, from Wabara Pius in Jos. He who lives in a glass house does not throw stones. And Yako, over to you. Start accusing President Jonathan and PDP of being behind your financial recklessness through your commissioners. Can you see why you cannot entirely fault the president for the troubles in your state? Thousands are suffering in Adamawa while you live like a king. This suffering encouraged them to join Boko Haram.
You see, most of our contributors are speaking from political angles. They are not balancing the views. As much as I subscribe, I didn't see any big deal that impeaching Nyako. But I still believe that it's a selective action. And the allegations of the powerful hands, invisible hands in the states, we expect it. He has issue with Mr. President. Then will he expect, or do we expect Mr. President to go and support him? No, we'll be wrong. It is politics. He has gone out to fight somebody, and we expect that person to come and save him. No. The person will be glad to hear of the impeachment.
But you say he could survive?
Yes, he could. Yes, I said we'll be glad to hear of the impeachment and the eventual manifestation of that.
Right.
But Nigerian system, he could survive it.
ADEYEMI, AROMOLARAN, lecturer and ASU president with the Yaba College of Technology. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Murtala Nyako is in the eye of the storm. As we speak right now, 25 members of the House of Assembly are all of the opposition, the People's Democratic Party. Some have called him the king without a palace. Now, he survived it in 2008. The big question is, will he survive this impeachment notice yet again?
This is where we draw the curtain this morning on Core Digest. Thank you for being there with us, and we hope you'll join us again tomorrow. Bye for now.
Come June 21, it will be decision day for the people of Ekiti. 18 candidates are gunning for one seat.
I am the next governor of Ekiti.
But the people will have the final say.
I I know that tolerance has a very big place.
Join extensive coverage of the election and get up to the many details as development unfolds.
I'm the voice of Ekiti people.
With expert analysis from the best political team on television.
And that honesty of INEC without...
Join us all day June 21 to find out who emerges the next governor of Ekiti State.
We have agreed to move this state forward.
Keep a date with us on Core TV News. You can also watch us live on our website on www.coretvnews.com, a 24-hour news station.